Hi Shri, it is nice having you here and congratulations on scoring an overall 8. So if I'm correct, you scored 9 in listening, 9 in reading and 7 each in writing and speaking, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your first attempt in the
Yes,
IELTS
ma'am.
test?
This is my
Okay,
first attempt.
okay, great, great, great. So for all of us who are watching this video, can you quickly introduce yourself, what you do, what your background is and how you started your IELTS preparation?
So I'm Shri from Tamil Nadu. I'm currently working as a dentist in Chennai.
Wow.
So I started, in the initial days of January, I had a thought of taking IELTS by the end of January. So I started proper preparation. So within 10 to 15 days, I kind of finished all the basic lessons. And
Mhm.
by 15th or 16th, I wanted to take a mock.
Tell me about listening and reading. How did you manage to score a band 9 there? I know that you had taken our program earlier, and I know that you were reaching out to me with doubts and questions. But how did you work on your mistakes? Because that's what people struggle with.
When I used to take mocks, I was never be able to score a 8. Every time I was getting either 7 or 7.5, or sometimes even 6 I was getting. So I was
Mm,
worried about that. So I
mm,
started analyzing what was the mistake, and that's when I reached out to you asking about whether it's about lack of exposure to the language or something like that. You
yeah,
said maybe it could be the concentration, so I worked
right.
on that.
Good.
I started doing yoga for that, so that kind of
Wow.
helped me.
Great,
Uh,
great, great.
After that, there are certain aspects of questions like address questions and postcode questions. I was particularly particular about that question. I have to be very concentrated on that question, so
Right.
that kind of preparation I had in my mind.
Good, very good, very good. How did you manage to score well there? And what were your problem areas with the reading section?
So for reading, I actually never had any problem with scoring an 7. In every mock that I took, I was able to get 7. Only once in a blue moon, I used to get 6.5, not below that.
Mm.
The problem areas were the TFNG and the matching features.
Mm.
So
Mm.
for TFNG, what I did was, um, when I make a mistake, I used to think why I have written that answer. If I have written true, I used to think, okay, why I have written true for this question.
Good.
Then I'll look at the answer key, why they have given false to that question.
Right.
So that I will be able to get the thought process of the questioner.
Okay. Okay.
Also with matching features, um, there is not a particular strategy, but if there are 6 questions, I used to do only the easiest questions first, then so that I'll have more time for the difficult questions. So I used to spend that time for the difficult questions, so that way it was easy. But fortunately, I had very easy matching features in my exam, so I finished all the 6 within 6 minutes. So that
Good.
kind of
That's very good. So you had a time target, you made sure you worked on your mistakes, and as such, you didn't have a problem with the reading skill, like
yes.
you said for listening.
Yes,
So,
every time I took my mock, I used to finish it within 45 minutes of
wow.
the reading section. So that
So,
was my
yeah.
target, because so that I can, allot the remaining time to check and any other activities.
Yeah. So tell me about the writing and the speaking now, because I remember when we were doing your evaluations, both in both the sections, you were making some fundamental mistakes. Like, for example, with writing, you were making mistakes with structure, with coherence, both in your letter and your essay. So, how did you work on those mistakes and what did you do exactly on your exam day? Because I see even before your exam day, you were not very confident. So, what happened on the day and what did you do on that day so that, all these mistakes were taken care of?
Actually, ma'am, on my exam day, I had a speaking exam the previous day. I was upset with my performance, so I was not able to, give my best shot at the practice. But I was clear in my head that I should not carry this over to my exam.
Right.
So with when it, I mean, in the exam, the questions were easy actually. writing task one is not so difficult. You have to you should not make any silly mistakes there.
Right.
So I made sure that I should not make any mistakes with tone or salutations or signing off. So I took care of that. I didn't want
Good.
to spend time with planning task one. So I didn't give time for planning. So I just went on writing task one. I finished it. Then I started writing task two. The problem with task two was my question said, it had a question and it was like a straight question like, what is your opinion? So I was like confused what type of question it is.
Hmm.
I wrote instead of the reasons, I wrote the other side of the opinion as the reason. But
Oh,
somehow,
okay. Okay. So you structured your opinion, but you also gave both the thoughts, saying this is the first thought, this is the second thought, and then you gave in your opinion and reasoned it out in the
I mean,
conclusion.
in the conclusion, I have written the paraphrase the sentence, ma'am. Then,
Right.
uh, while writing my opinion, I said, okay, this is how it is going to be beneficial for the people.
Right.
And when I have to write, I wrote because, uh, and then instead of writing the reason, I
Hmm.
said that the other side of the
Hmm.
opinion can be taken care by
Hmm.
by spreading awareness or something like that.
Nice. Okay. So one last question, Shri. What advice do you have for other students who want to score an overall 8, just like you?
Um, Maybe I'll give you one golden strategy. When I writing an essay, I used to ask, I used to openly say that, okay, think how exactly do you believe in this statement, and give an example and suggesting that this is why you believe in this statement. So this is how you used to speak in the class. So I used to
Okay.
repeat those sentences that helped me to write exactly the structure that I wanted.
Good.
So that is one strategy that I followed and which helped me to improve better.
Yeah.
For listening, I used to watch the English news channels like Guardian and BBC Learning
Wow.
English, and there is a program called 6 Minute English in BBC Learning English.
Right. Yes.
Definitely, 6 minutes in 24 hours you can afford, so people can do that.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I used to watch your guided newspaper reading. I
Hmm.
used to pick words from that, so
Hmm.
that helped me to build up the vocabulary list also.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when it comes to reading, um, I think it is important to understand the. Whether you understand the meaning or not, you should be able to locate the answer as
Right.
soon as possible. That's the
Right.
only thing I was doing. So, and the other thing is, we should finish the test as soon as possible so that you have remaining time to check your answers. When I say check, you should not look at your answers and check. What I did was, I used to redo my reading test again. So I
Very
used
good
to look at
strategy.
the question and
Yes.
I used to look at the passage and try to answer it again. So
Right.
that answer and the written answer should be same. If
Right.
you say one more thing, why I have selected grassroots comparatively lesser price. The other places are very much costly, and here it is even more economical. And the fourth thing is there is no demotivation here.
Right.
That's another reason. And the
Right.
last one is the way you teach. The
Okay.
way you teach in the grassroots education is kind of is the way I want to be taught. When it
Right.
comes to teaching, I'm very very particular whether I'm teaching or when someone teaching me. I'm very particular about that. If I'm not comfortable with that with the way of teaching, I will not be able to score better.
God, okay, you have a list of reasons written down. Okay, I did not have this in the agenda, but thanks for the compliment. This is exactly what we focus on as well. And yeah, hope others find your insights useful and your comments about us useful as well. Right? It was amazing talking to you, Shri, again. And thanks for this.